What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. We're doing a special street episode of the Entrepreneurial Web. Street. We're on the street. We're in the hood. We're on Prospect Ave here live at my restaurant, Della in Windsor Terrace, Brooklyn. Here with my boy, Tommy Justino, to get the pronunciation correct. It's not Justino, Justino.
Or Justino.
Justino.
Or Justino.
Juventino. Okay. So, what we're talking about tonight is video. My friend Tom here turned me on first to the iPhone 11 Max Pro, which we are using for this broadcast. So this is definitely a gear talk. We want to talk specifically about your ability to produce content. Tom just said something really great. I'm going to read this. He said, if you want to create content, what do you need? Nothing more than you can handle. So me, being an analog boy from the 70s, I had to learn email in college, and it was bad. This is all I can handle. So it was great advice for me. I feel like I've gotten some good mileage, and I've only had it for like a hot minute. Got some little lavalier mics here, running through a little splitter into the lightning, and we'll see. Hopefully it comes out good.
Yeah.
So
anything that can weigh you down physically or mentally is going to hamper your content.
Right.
So it's like it's not worth.
Absolutely. Right. And I've heard that the content is not so much about all the bells and whistles that are in it. It's about the message and your ability to communicate that clearly.
Yeah.
So if that's happening, run light.
Yeah.
Right? No need to, like you said, don't weigh yourself down. It's just going to make things harder and prohibit your ability if you want to get a message out, if you're trying to sell a product, if you want to produce a movie, if you want to produce music, whatever it is you want to do, you want to get that message out there. The lighter you can be, the more stealth, the more clear you can make your message, and not necessarily get caught up in all the hoopla.
As focused as you can be on the narrative that you're trying to convey, whether it be a makeup tutorial or whatever.
Right.
Or,
you've done it all, haven't you? So tell everybody give everybody a quick rundown of like your background and how you ended up where you are.
I'm a filmmaker and a photographer, and I've been writing for years and developing films and shorts and stuff like that. And,
more from an artistic side or commercial side?
Well, from a commercial narrative side, I would say. Stuff that's designed to be a commercial narrative feature or a commercial television show.
And like actually commercials or just
no commercials.
No commercials. Nothing
Not
for
that,
Gillette?
No,
okay.
Nothing like that. Gillette, we would fail. Maybe just for men.
You and me would definitely fail. They'd be like, you're writing our pitch?
Exactly.
We believe in this product.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
But I've been doing that, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff comes in to kind of throw what
what stuff
into a tizzy, like Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of
iPhones
stuff. And iPhones
putting cameramen out of business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I never believe they're actually being put out of business, but I believe they're just a great tool.
Yeah.
For the person that's either starting out or doesn't have any, like, I'm a filmmaker, but I don't have any notions that I'm a skilled videographer. So it's like I will develop whatever I can do, and I will keep my iPhone in my back pocket, and I will shoot what I can shoot. But if I'm going to shoot anything that I consider heavy lifting, I know my limitations, and I'm going to call in, and have my DP shoot.
Self-awareness.
I think that's a big thing, and that's like what we were talking about is being focused on yourself and knowing what you're trying to say and knowing what you can handle, and then going from there.
Making the message more clear than actually like how artistic is it or judgment of quality, which is, I mean, how do you tell everybody else what quality is?
Yeah,
right?
And the worst thing you can do is go out, try to do it yourself, and think you're making magic, and then you upload it, and everybody else knows that you did not make magic.
You might still think you made magic. I'm guilty of that. I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess it's always worth making something. And finding out what works and what doesn't.
You gotta, trial and error.
Yourself out there.
Yeah. You have to expose yourself a little bit. I think that's important for humility, which you just expressed a little bit of, and the feedback on that. Because obviously, some people will put garbage out, and people are like, "That's great," and you run with that. Like that's the case.
I got 93 likes.
Yeah, like why make something super complicated of something super simple is gonna do the trick. A friend of mine who comes in here regularly, he works for, I want to say Sci-Fi. I might be wrong, but it's definitely like
Sci-Fi Network.
Yeah, like a cable network. And he's been at it for a while. He's our age, so he's been doing it for a while. And a certain subgroup that he works on, that he like kind of oversees, broke off, and they're making videos specifically for YouTube. And it was fascinating to me what he was telling me they could see from YouTube users, because they were making like 30-minute runs, and they started to see that everybody was dropping off after like 15 minutes. They got like such detailed analytics on it that they were like, oh, well, why are we killing ourselves for these 30-minute runs? We can take this information that we're getting, this honest feedback from people, and instead of trying to make a bunch of like 30-minute runs, we can double down. And in that same amount of time, you can produce 2 runs, which is great, especially, for your budget. And for your creative, which is a big thing. So something you said, you mentioned the narrative, and the narrative typically comes across through audio.
Yeah.
You want to talk about audio for a minute?
Well, we were talking about kind of what kind of gear that you need to embark on your content creating journey, and a wise man once told me, if you can get the sound, get it. That wise man was Dan. So
Dan Dome.
What's
up, Dan Dome?
So there was one time where we didn't mic a camera, and now with editing and everything like that, it's easier to sync stuff. But again, we thought we were shooting, MOS without sound, that we weren't going to need it.
What does that mean?
It's basically without sound.
Yeah.
We were just going to layer stuff over it.
Oh, gotcha.
And, but what we found out was the stuff that we were shooting, we ended up pulling from the camera's microphone anyway.
The native mic.
We just wanted to create layers within the video that we were producing.
With that being said,
if you're going to get gear and stuff like that, I think a mic is
or some sort of narrative. If there's people talking,
the
lowest level is your native mic on your camera or your phone or your Android or whatever device it is you're using. Like there are a lot of, I'm an audio guy. I went to school for music, and I was just telling this story a few minutes ago across the street, where 15 years ago even, we were scrambling to find a good, especially mobile kind of recording setup where we could get good digital quality. We were messing with damn, I can't even remember the name of them now. The little digital things that look like a little CD. Vinny Lochisano, where are you right now? Mike Umba, not DAT. It was mini disc.
Oh my god!
And like trying to get, especially even just like jazz recordings with like these mini disc recorders, and like sometimes you could, like, if you were in the right room and everything, you could really hit it. But it was such a scramble, and now it's like there's such great stuff out there, and that shit was expensive. It was a lot of money, and even like stepping up into getting like a small portable analog to digital converter, and then some good mics, and then you had to have the right software. And now it's like super easy to get clear audio. Zoom and Shure are both making Lightning attachments for the iPhone, and then these great little joints that are plugging right in. You tell us. We're hoping this is the test run, by the way, everybody. This is the first stab at it. The station is closed down that I host my radio show on for a few weeks. from now through New Year. So me being my typical self, I'm not interested in slowing down or stopping at all. So got to keep it going. And how do you do that? And so in a way, this is very meta. This is very trial and error. So if the sound sucks, sorry, we tried.
But yeah, I mean, even with the mics, I think it's important because the USB mics that are available that are small enough that don't even
if you're working from a laptop,
infringe on your shooting.
Yeah.
That even if you're just shooting something stupid and
get
that footage becomes like a valuable piece, and you want to cut in the audio, it's better hearing something clean than hearing that wind. Just hit the phone mic.
Definitely.
And just having that as a tool, like in your editing arsenal, to pull from that audio.
And one of the other things you said, so Tom and I was interviewed on this radio station over the summer, something about the neighborhood, Windsor Terrace, where we live, great spot. And there was just some really good audio clips from it where the gentleman that was interviewing me was asking me why I thought the neighborhood was special. It was very sincere, and 110 seconds at the most. It was super short. And Tom had this great idea. He was like, let's layer some scenes from the neighborhood. We got this great audio. And I was like, awesome, we got great audio. He's like, well, we're going to need some music. And I was like, I got music. Don't worry, I got plenty of music. And he's like, well, we're going to need this. And we're going to do that. I'm like, what are you talking about? and he was talking about the sound layers you need for a visual if you're working with video. And even there's some apps where you can do it over picture, which is pretty phenomenal, where it's like a still picture, but you can add sound and you can add layers of sound. And it was very eye-opening for me, especially once I gave him as much audio as I could produce. But the final product was really impressive. And then the next day, literally, I saw a piece of content where somebody was flying over the ocean and they were speaking. So you had the interviewee audio. There was background music, of course, because you just got to have like a little hip-hop beat or something in the background.
Yeah.
But then there was the sound of the ocean. Even though they were in a helicopter or a plane way above the ocean, you could see the ocean, but the implication there was really fantastic. And that was at least 3 layers of sound, and Tom even suggested potentially 4. Now this is getting super technical, and you would need at least something like Premiere Rush to work with that. With that layer of sound. So Premiere Rush is an Adobe product for video editing, but as well as sound. It's pretty inexpensive.
If you're not feeling that you are a sound person,
and we go back to the original
for sound,
quote,
don't do it.
Yeah, or find a out of work musician and be like, hey,
But
that was really eye opening for me, and I could feel it when you played me the first time that video, which was less than 2 minutes, and I could hear. So if you're doing audio, like when you're a musician and you're trying to produce an album or a song, you want total like isolation and control. Often you want no extracurricular sounds. And it seems like with video, it's encouraged, which was a big gear shift for me. Where I was like, and we were doing a scene in the dojo, Sun Dojo, where I teach martial arts and train martial arts. You were like, we need the sound of them, like their foot swishing on the mat and them hitting the ground.
Or the fans going.
Right. Well, that too, but I just imagine like what kind of vacuum that would feel like if you were watching this and you had no audible context to the situation. So that was a big deal. So at least 2 layers, if you can pull it off. 3, I think is like really ideal, and 4, I haven't hit 4 yet. But that being said, not just using the native mic where you're getting where everything is just monotone, where it's like your voice, your buddy's voice, or if you're interviewing somebody, the wind, the cars honking, and like all competing at the same time.
Than a mic.
Try to get some sort of separation where the audio comes in. You have a little bit of control and you have a little bit of say over it. I think it's a big deal.
But there's so much out there in the way of audio. It's getting so much more accessible, and so
just when I looked on Amazon for like something to do this with, like it was like
you go on Amazon, you say, 3,000 people bought this, and then
there's 3,000 mics, there's 3,000 producers,
handles all your capability, and And
that's
if
a
it's
good
been reviewed well,
right.
pick up one.
And that's
Probably
another good.
$20.
That's another good note. So like the mics we're using tonight, the lapel mics, they're for more like this, like interview.
Yeah.
If you got one or two people, it's hard to run more than two. Even if you're going into a laptop, it's something I'm working on lately, trying to figure out how to run multiple USB mics into a laptop. Oh, okay. Well, don't tell them. We'll save that for the next episode. Gotcha. You're gonna have to tune in again to get that gold. But just knowing some of the brands, like I use the Zoom H6 for a lot of audio. Yeah. So you were saying if you're actually working with a proper camera too, that will record video using an external audio device, not just relying on the
absolutely 100%.
the native mic on the camera.
So the native mic on an actual camera, like on something I shoot on, might even be worse.
Right, it might be. I thought about that when you said that to me. I was like, it's gotta be worse.
They really
put a little time into it. Yeah, because it's used like for a camera. Like how you're not using that to really communicate with people. So here,
so it's worse than
right. So the Zoom H6 is just wonderful for everything. I've been using that more than even my my hardline.
And I've got the lower
FirePod.
Zoom. Which Zoom do I have?
The Zoom One. The one. Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean that's fine, especially if you're trying to just get some room noise and stuff. But the 6 you can run dedicated mics like this, but also get really wonderful room noise. Yeah. And they've got a number of different caps that come with it, so you can get a more omnidirectional approach or a more focused approach. But they also, so Zoom makes a similar product for Lightning, and you can adjust. And I played with that a little bit. And Shure makes another one also that gives you a bigger envelope that you can even edit after the fact. So if you record video but also open their app while you're recording, it'll dump the sound file into there. And if you're not happy with a particular setup, so maybe you had a very close a small envelope like right here, like say the umbrella was this big, and you're like, you know what, man, you listen back and you adjust it to a wider umbrella, and you're like, that's the sound I'm looking for. It's picking up more of what I want. You can adjust after the fact, and those things are like $150 max. It's really amazing.
The one is like
it blows me away, like how cheap this shit is now compared to what we used to shell out for in college.
You can slate on those too, so you can add that little beep at the beginning of it. So I can.
You can what?
You can slate it. So basically, slating is
I'm a layman, man.
When you're like,
clack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You do clack. So you can basically that's
I've never done. This is my.
So
I'm new at. Kind
of know where
being a TV star
starts, and you can sync the sound.
Oh, right, sure, yeah.
So
gotcha.
They'll give you a little beep. You can press a button.
We call that
beep.
tracking in music. Camera people, camera people versus musicians versus dancers. We need to codify that. Woo!
Yep, depends on
Justino, he does a wonderful tarantella. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my god!
All right, anything else you want to share? I think that's some good shit, man.
Go ahead. That's good. We're just getting warmed up. What else you ask? What do you got to ask? Camera stuff. Camera stuff.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I've been working solely off the new iPhone 11 Max Pro with the 3 lenses, and I'm blown away by its capabilities, especially doing social media for all my businesses. I was using the iPhone 7 before. The capabilities of this camera have blown me away, and I'm novice.
You haven't even upped your game yet. I was trying to bait you into buying the Moment lenses.
Do I even need that for this?
Yes.
Okay.
The Moment lenses will just give you a little versatility.
Yeah, I'm down.
This already has does it have a telephoto? Or does it go wide angle? Just wide angle?
Wide angle, yeah.
Wide angle. So the Moment lenses have a telephoto. They have a wide angle, which you probably wouldn't need. But it's nice glass, and it comes in a case, and people are big on them and shoot really great stuff with them.
I've seen some YouTube clips that dealt with things like that, and they were said as a must. I think your last piece of advice to me was just get the iPhone 11 and fuck with it in its raw form, and then take it from there. So that's all I've done, and it's been 6 weeks, and I'm really, really pleased with it. So I think I'm ready to move up to the next level.
You've been a beast. Creating content.
Well, content I feel like is easy for me. Creativity is not the problem. There's technical things that I need to step up on. I mean, before, 8 weeks ago, I had never used anything beyond iPhoto in terms of editing video or photography.
Yeah.
And now, I'm about to pop up onto Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Because I feel like and Premiere Rush has been great, especially if you're doing stuff from your phone on the fly and you just want to if you want to make your Instagram, your TikTok, your...
Have you been uploading it right to a cloud or something? Or
Yeah. So it connects.
You shoot something and it goes right to the cloud?
Yeah, and you can finish on your phone or you can wait till you get home. And I definitely, for a lot of the big stuff, I prefer working on the desktop. But I ripped some stuff on the train, literally. I just went down in the train station, was just ripped it out in the native camera, dumped it into Premiere Rush, and while I was waiting for the train, edited, did some crossfades, did some cool stuff, and then popped into TikTok or whatever platform I wanted it to go into. And it's a big step up from a lot of the stuff that's out there. So for me, the creative aspect is not the problem. It's being more technical and trying to gear the creative towards a specific, who do I want to respond? Who am I trying to get excited about this and make it in a way that gets those people excited.
Yeah.
That's been the big. So beyond that, if you are okay, I've got a great iPhone and I'm doing all this stuff and I've got all the lenses, what's the next step?
It's whatever you can do to up your game a little bit to make your content.
I feel like I'm
out.
good for a while with this. I'll get the lens.
I'm preaching that one end of, don't weigh yourself down too much. But when you're ready, when you're kind of feeling okay, I could do a little bit more, then I do believe there's such budget-friendly lighting and things like that.
Oh, so lighting. That's a huge one that we should talk about, because that's the one lighting I really suffer from, because I don't walk around with lights.
Yeah.
I'm always on the go. I have my phone in my pocket, and for me, I have to be light and nimble, because I'm literally jumping buildings and stuff sometimes.
It blows me away how much lighting is
so this I'm
available
completely
for a
ignorant to.
budget-friendly
So talk to us.
price point, and it's whatever you need.
Completely. I know nothing about lighting. I literally pick up my phone, and this camera is so freaking awesome these days.
Yeah.
I just pick it up, in here, the lighting's terrible, and I go to take a picture of a dish with my 7, and it was crap.
Like that, I would say, you want to play with things. You just take something, and you get a nice LED panel or an LED bar. They sell kind of these.
Oh, right. The sticks I see. Yeah. I've seen that.
Just an LED panel, which now it's they're changing color temperatures.
Right.
There's all this versatility with it, and they have mounts to them, so you can put them to a tripod mount and clamp and just put a nice.
And how close or far do you want to be? Do you need to adjust it per shot, or is there kind of a set rule of thumb? Or
that getting into lighting is a whole other. But play with it and see if you have a knack for it. At least have it in your arsenal.
So the short answer is it's not uniform. You just need to move the light around to highlight the thing you want to highlight.
Well, lighting's a big thing. It's too much to get into to really try to explain to it. Explain in general, to give any kind of advice, because it's just there's so much.
So just get
involved.
a light.
Get a
just
light.
Get a light. Fuck around with
and
it.
See it. Like I said, if you're shooting a makeup tutorial or something, every
keep talking about makeup. You sure you don't work for L'Oreal?
I have an obsession with it.
Okay.
I have a short name makeup, but no, seriously, I'm always it's pretty cool that at least they pay attention to the light that it takes to illuminate their face with no shadows, to flatter it. That kind of thing. Yeah. And that's just a basic chargeable LED ring light.
And what are we talking about in terms of cost of entry for something like that?
All these things are
$100. Everything's a fucking commodity now. Yeah,
that's so cheap.
Well, and so the other reason I think all this is important, the word on the street. The word on the street here.
Yeah,
on Prospect Ave. No,
Ave.
But being in New York,
between me and Jeremiah, just whispering to each other.
Being in New York and being exposed to a lot of business people and people that are behind a lot of the major things that are happening is that a lot of the stuff in the middle is being commoditized like that. So just the raw products, no problem. The reason to produce content and to attempt to produce good content and represent yourself, your brand, your business, whatever it may be, is that's the one thing that is hard to commoditize. So you've got the product on one end, and you've got the person representing it, or the ethos behind it, the culture behind it. And that's the great opportunity now, is that we can sit here and do this.
Yeah.
And there's no friction. There's nobody in the way saying, you can't put that
Think
up.
about how many people have podcasts.
We started to take our clothes off. Maybe they would block it, but
it's
because they wouldn't want to see great specimens.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's little friction. You can represent yourself on so many different platforms, and very targeted, very specific. And that would be the reason, unless you're just fame. And if you are, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Do your thing,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think we're going to wrap up, everybody. I really hope this came off okay in terms of the audio. Hopefully not too much latency. We experienced a little latency when we were recording out front earlier, but we were away from the Wi-Fi. Hope this came through good. Even if it didn't, I hope you got something fun out of it. I had fun. You have fun?
I had fun.
All right.
Drinking, so
great.
it's good.
So, street version of the entrepreneurial web. There's going to be a few more coming at you. So keep your ear to the rail. Listen to the word on the street. We'll check you next time. Peace.